I don't know what we're arguing. You know Mahomes is great.
Yeah, Mahomes is great. But in 2025, he has not played top 2 football in like over a year.
Are you just gonna like only go off a super recent?
The last year. That's what I'm saying. Is like
Okay, but like
today, I'm saying like
this year would be like Stroud's not top 10. Going into his sophomore year, people were like, he's probably 6 or 7.
Correct.
You should take both years rather than just one.
Yeah, you should. There should. I'm not denying that there should be like. It's not just what have you done for me lately.
Yeah.
When was the last time Patrick Mahomes had like an elite offense?
2022. It's been 2 seasons. Yeah.
It's a long ass time, twin.
Do something.
But maybe they have.
When Steen gets a new shirt,
They do. Right.
he wears new shirts at office all the time. You think I'm not gonna say nothing? He knows it's coming.
It's good.
No, it's going.
Maybe they.
I don't. You know he's great.
Of course.
Okay.
Historically.
You also know he's top 3.
I said, I think he's probably 3.
Probably.
Okay, now take a trip inside my mind like you was off to Venice. It's me and BDGE, LMBO cooking like chemists. Take them back to way back when like Dennis the Menace.
All right, today, I got to get this off my chest. Today's Friday, May 23rd, and in my soul and heart, something's telling me it's someone in my life's birthday, and I can't figure out who it is. And that just like is eating me alive all day today. And just like they need to know that I don't know, but I want to know. So whoever my family, friend group, whatever, former pet, happy birthday.
Interesting week, obviously, with the Tony news rolling out. There's been a lot of questions about that. A lot of people have been yapping, and I'm sure he'll address that in today's confessional. But obviously, again, sad to see him go, but excited for his future for himself. With that being said, the Bets channel now has been rocking and rolling. I interviewed about 3 guys to be on for June when we kind of get back in rolling with that. We also filmed a preview today for a division that I'm super excited for you guys to see, as it was the most requested division to talk about last year. I feel like it has a lot of controversy this year, so we filmed that. And I think that went really well. Outside of that, everything's been rolling. We had our live stream today for the Stains.
Trivia membership is still live, still going well. I said this last week, but it's like been my favorite thing to work on. I don't know if I did say that. It's launching the trivia membership's been one of my favorite things to work on since working at BDGE, just because it feels like this little like baby that Nick and JL gave me the tools to help grow and raise. And now it's just on me to like lead it to the right way and give you guys what you're looking for. And it's just kind of fun every single day to look at like, how do I make this membership better? How do I get more people to want this membership? And I think the streams have been going really well. We did our second one today. We played Wavelength. First one was Family Feud. Next one, not sure what it is yet. If you're watching this today, it'll be going live tomorrow. So if you want to be in that stream, whatever it is, whatever game people vote on, bullshit, Wavelength, Family Feud, fantasy drafts, go be a Steen. I'm just super excited with how well it's kicked off. I think we have like 600 members in 2 weeks. It's so exciting because this is like something I think we're going to build over the next legitimate 7 years. So it's cool how the membership you guys find value in right now, when this is just like the smallest stage it's ever gonna be. It's only going to get better from here. So getting a little ahead of myself, but long term, like I'm super excited to see what it turns into.
The Steens were able to be in the live stream talking about Wavelength, which is really cool to interact and have those types of live streams. I think going forward, there's a ton of different games we can play where we can interact and do stuff. So I think it provides such good value.
If you were in the stream or you watched the stream back on Monday and you have any sort of feedback, constructive criticism, you could drop that down below as well. We're trying to improve those and really just make that a product that you guys end up falling in love with. I mean, I dominated Wavelength today despite losing. Any round that I didn't get a 4-piece was just bad clues given by you guys, especially Kelsey.
For us, not only to hear your guys' feedback while we're playing, but to also get you guys interacting with everything. I think it's a super fun idea. On the Hawaii front, we've been trying to convince Nick. That was a big thing, you know, the 3,200 odds.
I mean, obviously, like the odds aren't in their favor. You can't put it at like a 50-50 thing, right? Like you would have to give the move to Hawaii substantial odds. Like moving to Hawaii for 2 years, 1 year, whatever, it would be like a plus. It would be like 100. Man, that's kind of, no, that's long. I would say like 50-1 odds.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
It's happened in the history of gambling, right? Like you take the trying to think, like you take the Rams to win the Super Bowl. They did preseason. They were probably like 50-1 odds. Maybe I'm misremembering that, but like it's not possible. I think it's kind of weird because I think Nick is actually open to the idea of moving, but also knows that the guys in here like aren't going to cover all their bases in a presentation to make that move. So it's like not going to happen.
Here's what I'll give to you too. I'll let you present to me, and then I'll have all the questions, and then I'll let you solve those and come back again with a second presentation.
2 drafts.
Yeah, 2 drafts. Having the other drafts, because my concern is not to like, I'm not trying to beat them, but like I'm gonna just have a lot of genuine concerns and legitimate concerns. So I'm gonna let them answer them. Do I want to move to Hawaii?
Yeah, for 2 years or call it a year.
I felt comfortable with all of like the non-cross T's and the dotted I's. Then I think
I know you want. I believe you now, hearing that you want.
I don't want to move to Hawaii over New York, but it's not here. It's like I would be open to it. Middle case.
Let's just say they came with a presentation to move to South Carolina. All T's were crossed and all I's were dotted. You wouldn't live in South Carolina.
It would be lit and so cheap.
It wouldn't be
It
lit.
would be actually awesome. Jet skis, boats. It would be
This presentation.
lit. You want to ride a jet ski?
Yeah, why?
You pitch me a jet ski is not what gets me to move.
68 in the water is awesome.
What about like coffee dates with quiet music? That's like go place the date.
Yeah, facts.
I mean, the coffee shops in Hawaii are probably phenomenal.
Yeah, they're probably are.
The way I see Hawaii, I trusted Nick when he said, like, if you guys bring a serious proposal, like, I will be open to it, because anytime I've ever done anything at BDG since day one, if I've told Nick, like, I want to do this thing, he's given me the opportunity to, like, go prove it. Like, hey, if you want to be the head of trivia, go do that, and I will let you do that. There's been many other times where he's given us the reins to create any project we want, like Gut with the Combine, Sexy with this tournament. Has that same meaning when he says those things behind Hawaii. Like, if all of us come together to do that, he'll allow us. So I'm very serious about putting together a proposal, moving to Hawaii. I think Joe is too. I think Sexy is too. I think Gut is too. And even if it like doesn't work, I do think like we might like learn something across it, like why it wouldn't work, and maybe that'll just be useful and like give us insight on some other thing. Like, oh, it wouldn't work Hawaii, but like maybe it would work in fucking Thailand, because I know Nick mentioned like he's not doing a single other U.S. state, but like JMO could go global. Like, he knows global geography to the nth degree. And I truly think, maybe I'm delusional, but I'm just like always willing to bet on myself. I think we'll put together a good enough proposal where Nick's like, damn, I said this, they came with the facts, like, yeah, maybe we should do this. So I would even move our 1% chance I gave us last week to like 5. Still not high, but I don't know. I'm just willing to always bet on myself, and seeing that how excited Sexy was about it too when the last vlog came out gave me that extra confidence in ourselves. So
Jack was saying it's fucking 100,000, million, whatever odds. But I think it's interesting the way Nick talks about it, because I have 2 different thought processes. Like, I feel like I don't know if it's a front, but I feel like he's like so serious about it that it can't be serious. Like, every time we ask him, he's like, no, like I would actually like, and I just can't believe it in my heart that he actually would move. But from the way he's saying, I just got to take his word, and we got to put together a lock and loaded presentation to get him on the Hawaii front.
also, I think Jack like making Nick defensive about it does help us, because Nick will like maybe just subconsciously want to prove Jack wrong, and that'll help us out. Like, it can't hurt. So shout out to Jack for intentionally or unintentionally helping us out.
I don't know if you guys know that I'm serious, but I'm going to be extremely critical of your presentation.
I'm not presenting.
Not you. I'm talking to the outer world here.
Your tone is more convincing, but when they said 3%, like
That's just their estimation.
No, I know. I was coming in like 0.0%, like not a shot in the world.
Yeah. I would say if we're on wavelength, like this is here, I'll actually give you a really good breakdown of this. So it's like Nick likelihood of moving to Hawaii, Nick not likelihood moving to Hawaii. I think it'd be there. Like me just being open to the idea.
Yeah.
It's like not really likely, but could happen. When you add in confidence of what they're going to present to me, it's an edge case. It's an edge case.
I disagree. I disagree. I think they'll come up with a good presentation. I think they actually would do it. You wouldn't do it.
No. Not true.
You would move to Hawaii for how long? 1 year?
2 years.
I said I would do 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
What do you mean you're dead serious? You're not moving to Hawaii.
Why not?
But we won't move.
I would. This is why they were so
See,
shocked.
this is actually the perfect presentation, is to just present and be like, we don't think you would do it. Nick would be like, nah, fuck it.
No balls.
That's a creative angle. It's a creative angle to go after. It wouldn't satify any of the needs of it.
All right, so what are the
good ideas that
Did
would
you-
come to me?
Did you share with them? Why are you playing defense on that?
Yeah.
Why am I playing defense?
What have I said today that has made you believe that I'm
That
not gonna-
only Hawaii is on the table.
I just don't understand why that makes me not consider that.
Because I think you're using the most unrealistic place and saying, I would consider it, but you know that there's like no chance it'll happen. It's like such a difficult place to do it at.
Agreed.
Right, so why are you setting that? Like, I don't
This
believe-
wasn't like I'm doing a contest. We're moving in a year right now, and like you guys get to present to me.
Right,
the best ones.
right.
I'm like saying Hawaii would be a place I'd be open to.
Right,
The
but
places
why
that I
only
think
Hawaii?
I would say that one, because Hawaii is a place that I genuinely want to go to.
Right, why only Hawaii?
If you bring up other places,
Like South Carolina.
Jet skis, boats. It would be
This presentation.
lit. You want to ride a jet ski?
why?
You pitch me a jet ski is not what gets me to move.
it's almost like I just know that I'm not. That's not going to be a real option for me.
But that's what I'm saying. There's
I've been to
nowhere
Austin.
else.
I've been to like probably 5 to 10 locations that I think objectively people
We're
would
at
be like
Arizona. You like Arizona?
fine with it, but like no. Here's another reason. If I'm gonna move out of what I consider to be like the most
The Mecca.
energetic city in the world, which is like really important to me, it's got to be in place of the most beautiful place in the country, which is probably what Hawaii is. I don't know that that's true, but in my mind, that's the brand it has. That's what I'm thinking. Like,
I'm just gathering data for their presentation.
if I'm downgrading city
Most
to another
beautiful
city, like that's what I don't want to do. Like I've been to Austin, I've been to these other places where I'm like, I don't want to live there for 2 years. And we might get to Hawaii and I'm like, fuck, I didn't want to live here, but I'm not going to leave because of it. I'm open to the presentation of like,
Once they get you in, you're stuck.
yeah, for sure.
So when would you go?
I would be open to any real timeline, to be honest.
I'm just here to gather data for my friends.
Fine.
Because I'm trying to come visit.
I have a lot of counterpoints. Well, that would be a conversation. Like, what would you do with the office? Would you guys just not have one anymore?
Yeah, we probably wouldn't have one. We probably just rent space for the days that, like, we're shooting. And we'd just shoot on those days. Or maybe we downgrade, downsize. But, like, yeah, we'd probably just find a little spacey.
Yeah.
Move
And I
everyone
think not
to
having you guys would now be difficult too, because it's like, who do our collective content people?
Thank you. Chat. Tony's gone. I don't even want to be in the content.
Also, wait.
I'm getting yelled at.
Hold up. A lot of like, we're sad Tony's gone. Like, we can hit you with some good news too.
Ooh.
Sexy has his interview to come back in the country on July 31st.
We got the date?
We got the date.
I mean, is that good news? It's sexy. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, yeah, that's a good question. That's a valid
right,
question.
now the audience is like, wait, what's the good news? No, that's hype. I didn't realize.
Yeah. So, I mean,
it's a little one-for-one trade.
We've known that. Yeah, we've known that for a few weeks now with Sexy coming back. And I realize he's in. We have like so many group chats between these companies that he put it in the BDGE only group chat. So yeah, Sexy.
July 31. And will he win this interview? Feels like, yeah.
Apparently it's straight, as long as you can prove that like you and your wife are legit, which like, I mean, I hope they could.
You were at the wedding.
Yeah. As long as you can prove that that is legit, he will be back here. From what I understand, it's a pretty instantaneous exception, or like they accept you after the interview. So it would be within those first week or two of like as long as he just moves back, which is
So is the plan him and his wife to move back to New York City?
yeah. Well, like Jersey City is where they're looking for. So yeah, their plan is that. So we'll have that. But I am saying like where the way our business is structured right now in content, like it's important that we have random people in the office like yourself or Casey or be able to reach out to Will or Ron or whoever that can fill in. If we don't have that, like sure we can work around it, but it actually impacts our business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like there are a lot of things like this that make it difficult for us to move anywhere, not just Hawaii. But that's why I'm saying, like, location to me, Hawaii is the place that I would move for, but
it is also the most difficult to move to. Yeah.
Maybe. I also think a lot of the things that I would bring up would be the same counterpoints that I'd probably have and pick a nod for South Carolina or wherever. And obviously Hawaii has its own unique set of circumstances where it's like hard to deliver things out there. It can be, there's a lot of shit. But
that a thing? I never even thought about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
Like they don't have Amazon Prime. Probably
not. I would say
they probably.
I'm not sure. You gotta
like,
think Amazon probably figured that out by now, right?
Yeah, like USPS is like they go out there. They have to.
Probably costs a lot to ship shit out there. Just that shit.
6 hour time difference is tough.
See, that to me is not like a big counterpoint. I don't think. Like we're for the most part we're like early people anyways.
It would be 10 a.m.
We'd live out there and get used to that, and that'd be our norm.
I mean, it works in both directions. Like, you want to do a stream for the Steens today. That's a 7 a.m. stream if you were to do it at 1.
Actually, I would say most audience members, just in content in general, like later streams.
They do, because they're off work. And
that makes a lot easier for us. That being said, we're a unique group where we're all up very early, and like we'd be cool with the 7 a.m. stream. Like I'm usually up by 5:36.
Well, the other thing is it can get lonely out there.
Agreed.
Like when you're not synced up with people. I was in Barcelona, which is another 6 hour time difference. It's just your window to talk to people is so small. And I don't know how much it matters to you, or honestly, anyone going out there. You're not staying, so like, what does dating look like?
Yeah.
Like, are you not, you know?
I mean, I don't know that I'd go there with the mindset of like, I'm 1,000%. I would be open to the idea of like setting up some sort of permanent life out there. If
really,
I'd be open to it. I'm not saying it's not likely that that would happen, but I wouldn't like, let's say I met someone and I was like, I fell in love in 6 months. I wouldn't be like, sorry, I'm going back to New York. I'd be like, I would be open to the idea of figuring out whatever they wanted to do. Or if we had set something up in Hawaii and the setup we had was awesome and it was just like working really well, I wouldn't pull it back just because I put a 2-year limit on it or anything.
Maybe that's what our weekend BDGE snapback trip should be, is when the boys were already going. And then it's like you get like a little test week.
Could be. What's the date?
August 23rd, I think. We could do idiot league mates out there.
We actually like probably should do this. Be fucking sick.
The only problem is I'm not supposed to be going.
Why not?
I gotta do like the basketball tournament, Fire Island basketball tournament. But like,
what are they going out there for?
Oh, they're going with the Hawaii football team, like all access, like type shit.
That'd feel like a good connection to get up front.
Yeah. All right, I won't be moving to Hawaii, but I'm down to visit and down to go. Should we just rip it in August?
I would be down, depending on how expensive it would be.
Yeah, it can't be cheap.
No, definitely not.
But if we accomplish Idiot League Mates Draft, the best vlog in BDG history, the boys in Hawaii for a week would actually be a cinema.
Don't patronize me right now.
We could accomplish like a test. Like, I think it would be important to get out there before you decide to move.
But not like 25K. That's research.
No, I don't think it would cost 25K just to get there. 2,500 per person.
That's what I'm saying. So that between 5 members or whatever, that's 13K or whatever. Then we have all this other shit.
Yeah.
Before you know it, it's fucking 40K.
Right, but we just hit one parlay.
That's a good pitch. Why'd you start with that?
That's literally one parlay.
So that's one good parlay for sure.
It's a little bit of an impossible task asking Nick to move out of New York. The time zone is kind of weird, a place where like not a lot of other people visit, so it's like harder to collab in person, a place where like gambling is not legal, which feels like it might be an important factor. Interesting task. I kind of feel like ideally moving to Hawaii sounds great, but I think it presents a lot of similar issues that like New York has, where it's super fucking expensive, and while it's nice to visit, trying to live there on a day-to-day basis doesn't feel as nice or something that you would actually want to do. I don't know. I think maybe some of you guys live in Hawaii. Maybe I'm wrong. You can tell me I'm wrong. But like, from what I know of New York, I would love to visit New York. But because I live here, this place is kind of a shithole. I mean, it's just not something I want to do on a daily basis, you know? So I don't know. I wouldn't put it past Sexy though. I think Sexy's got something cooking in the lab, you know, just to see how it goes. I am rooting for them to do it. Just to see the kind of chaos that would kind of inevitably unfold. Big moves could be possible there.
Jack weighed in, big 180 day, big broken scale day. Don't got to talk about that. He got naked in the office. Big locker room day for the boys.
What'd you make it?
192.
I feel like
How much the phone?
I feel like jeans is cheating.
You think? I was looking for a pair of shorts. I didn't want to get like.
Your goal is
jeans.
180. You've been doing this storyline for 2 months now, and you're gonna get on with jeans.
Do we have shorts? I don't want to
Just
be in
get
the
on.
undies.
I mean, this is the price you pay to be in the game, buddy.
Yeah, nah,
This is what you do.
OnlyFans.
Get
I know you're up for sale.
Nah, you down.
All right, well now I don't need.
Yo, good. Relax.
That was 164 in the other room.
It's working. It just takes.
Ah!
It was
Actually, like, if you're this is Steen only.
If only the guys in the live chat knew what was going on right now.
Just left to the camera.
Yo, just give me a number, bro.
Eric.
What do I do? Like, what do I do?
Moving 5 feet is gonna work over there.
All right, this feels.
Maybe the underwear is on you, man.
What if I'm 179.9 or 180.1? You guys are like, that's not a fair read. Hey! 180.7.
180.7.
Fully naked too. Well, not
Fully
fully,
naked.
but pretty much
Now
naked.
you're fully naked.
When you're feeling the locker room vibes, I haven't been in the locker room in like 2 years. Brought me right back. So yeah, outside that, everything's been good. Gauntlet went good this week. We're just cruising for a bruising into June. I'm super hyped to just kind of get there, so we can get started on a lot of things. Oh, I got another song of the week. Hi, Dan. It's going to be "Past the Nirvana" by Pierce the Veil. That's going to be my song of the week. A lot of people liked the songs last week by Vance Joy and by Sleeping with Sirens. So that's going to be the song of the week this week. Past the Nirvana. I think it's a really good one. Saw it in concert. It was lit. Outside of that, same things as usual.
Happy Memorial Day. It is Memorial Day weekend. Shout out to all those that served the country, died for the country, put the ultimate sacrifice on the line. Probably going to hit the Murph workout, which I do every year. And I'm definitely not in as great of shape, so that's going to suck ass. Sucks ass every year, even when I am in shape. So this year, not being in shape it's going to suck even more. If you don't know what it is, it's a mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, 1 mile run for a time with a weighted vest, 25 pounds, I believe. It's going to be 5 days late, but appreciate to everybody who serves in the military. It was given the ultimate sacrifice. Yeah, that's it. Have a good one.
Yeah, you got
What
anything
else?
going on in the business you want to talk through?
You could give good guidance on this. We talked to the offsite. Like everyone has like 3-month goals, 6-month goals, 9-month goals, and annual goals. And then we were like, we're not really focused on subscribers because YouTube, like half our audience actually watches on TV already. And like, that's not like the natural subscriber kind of flow. Like if you watch every one of our videos, anytime you pull up YouTube, like our new video is gonna show, which is essentially like being a subscriber. It's a very important fall for us. We are gonna do college again. Then we're gonna go to like Madrid for one of the games. But mostly we'll do Ryder Cup a little bit. But in the colleges last year, Wisconsin gave us access and Tennessee gave us access. So access means like locker room tour on the field before the game, like, just elevates the content, facility tour, stuff like that. This year we've already got Hawaii, Coastal Carolina, which is the all you can eat, like Iowa State, Boise State, BYU, Ole Miss. We essentially like the whole fall we're gonna have some sort of access besides like LSU and like one more game. So that's like a good step forward. So we're trying to think like, all right, based on the pace of the fall, we started last football season like 15K subs. We're at 65 now. Like, what's a realistic expectation? So before I ask like the real question, what would you say? And we should be where we're pacing by the start of September, which would be when the Hawaii video releases.
Can you give me?
We'd be at 80K.
Okay, based on your like underlying context of the channel, do you feel like football and during that time is more important for your, like, obviously for like fantasy, that's a huge part for us. For like trivia, it kind of hits all year round, depending on the quality of the content.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Our best performing videos are still like the best concepts. So like spending 24 hours with Neymar, or like I went to the game in Brazil, or like putting Casey in a canoe in the ocean, you know, like stuff that is so evergreen and so good it can pop.
Should do that again. Pacific Ocean.
Just for fun. Yeah.
Deep though.
But it doesn't lead to as many subs, because then it's like Tim at a hockey game, Conan at an NBA game, we're doing Sail GP, we're doing NASCAR. It's kind of all over the place. What you benefit from in the fall, so like us going to Iowa State and having all access, that's like nowhere near like being in the ocean. But the consistency and then the library of content picking up, you're gonna attract like, oh, they're at LSU, they're at Ole Miss, they're at, you know, Florida, they're at whatever. So I think it's not necessarily bigger than the rest of the seasons, but it is more consistent and thus leads to.
Okay, so you said you started last year's football season at 15.
Yeah.
You guys are at 65, and the question is,
if we're at 80-ish, what is the goal for Feb 1? So that would be
So you're talking about
September,
5
October,
months, basically, 6
November.
months.
And then December, Jan are like a little lighter months, but we'll still have content.
I guess I'm having, it's hard to decipher between like goal and what I'd actually, like what I'd guess would be there.
Well, what would you guess?
I think 150, but I do think the kind of content that you guys put out does have that like flicker of virality impact to it. But in the same vein, like that's the game you're playing, where it's like, that might just be the thing that gets you break even at the end of the day, because you might have a couple like flops afterwards.
Yeah.
So I think there's, you know, you could look at it and say, oh, we 4x'd or 5x since last year. But I also don't think that's always the way that YouTube typically works, especially within a very niche audience of like sports fans or whatever. So I would say
like our pace would be 125.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say
even
like
factoring in
135 and 150 probably.
Yeah. So like 150 is a good goal.
But yeah, but I do think there's a little bit of a compounding effect with just like all of the football games going on during the football season, and like everyone's so locked in.
And we get last year's library, you know, like
which
Tennessee video still applies. So
yeah.
All right. So 125 is our pace. 150 is like kind of a big goal. So this is what I said to the team, and this is what I want your perspective on. I said, visualize what the week of the national championship looks like, and then also visualize and tell me exactly in detail, what does it look like? What happened from September to January 20th if we're at 250? And so I put it on them to say like, oh, we got like this viral moment or whatever. I was like, no, like Tim was on ESPN College Game Day, week 7, talking about the snapback, like get as specific as possible. And so the 250 number is clearly something happened like outside of YouTube, right? Like there were so many other forces at play. And so that was...
It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
And what that does is it allows them to... A lot of people can't, I think, accomplish goals because they can't see it in their head. And when you make them think in reverse terms, they can now be like, whoa, like this is actually what happened. And now that could be an actual goal setting. Yeah. Did any of them come up with anything unique that now they can go after practically?
I don't think they fully got there. I think where they started to understand in more specifics, like what it would take to get there. Yeah. Meaning someone goes on TV, or the main thing that we kept harping on was like the snapback experience score like matters. So like we go to Ole Miss, if we give it an 8.2 and it's top 10 all time, like that matters somewhere.
Yeah.
The way like Portnoy goes to a pizza place, he has his highest score, like it's nationally covered.
It gives the audience like that's, you know, at the end of the day, the audience, they need the payoff at the end of like what happened. Like me and Joe were talking about this with his video. It's like you're laying out the storyline in the beginning. The audience knows what to expect, but they don't know how it's going to get there, and they don't know how it's going to end. So you
And
feel
so,
it's peaceful.
so I was trying to connect the dots for them and be like, we go to Ole Miss, it gets a 9-2. We collaborate with Ole Miss football on Instagram, and then Lane Kiffin quote tweets it and is like, and we went and we're going to Florida the next week, or we're going to LSU the next week within the SEC, and he's like, he sees the next week that it got lower. He quote tweets and is like,
yeah. So the question is like, how do you get that quote tweet? How do you get in the psyche of a Lane Kiffin? It's like, is it
right? And then we can start actually making We can start making moves to say, okay, now that we know that's how we do it, it's so important. When Ole Miss is like, what do you guys want to do when you're here? We say our number one thing is we want 3 minutes with Lane Kiffin, or like, you just start to kind of do it.
Right. So you have that, like, this is what it's going to take to get here. And now you have something practical to put behind it. I think it's a good idea. Yeah. Have you thought about like what actually incentivizes the people on your team to get to that 250 number? Like, obviously, it's something that rises the tides and rises all boats. But if it's just an imaginary number, you guys are all working towards it. Is there any like...
Yeah, so that was the thing. It was, once again, 125
this
pace.
Actually is just a big content episode.
Yeah, it is.
All right, Joe.
125 is the pace. 150 is the goal. I think I don't actually think 250 is the reach goal.
Yeah.
I was just using that to put them in a headspace. In terms of incentives, I actually think everyone is incentivized and gets why. So like from a talent perspective, if we're at 250, that means Tim can do whatever he wants the week of the national championship because we've clearly made inroads with whatever. Cone can sit courtside next year at the finals. So that's just on the talent side. If we're at that point, we're probably asked to do trivia on the ground. So Nate is happy and Jake is happy. And like Sean is operating, the whole thing. And he's happy. I do think everyone kind of sees their role and would get satisfaction out of it. What would be an item for you? Like if we're at 250 at the end of January, what do you think happened?
My first thought went to a much lazier route. My first thought was like, it would compile not just the unique scores, which is like your North Star, and I think it's directly related, but it would be like going to the biggest games each week, which is an opposite direction of what your content is going. Yeah. That's where my mind went originally. I don't know. I'd have to put some thought into that. Yeah. But I think it's a really good and unique way to honestly build with a team and figure out a way to get something in people's minds that make them think bigger. Yeah. Because I do think that's something, especially with younger employees, they don't know. Like, one thing I think about kind of often, dude, is, obviously I'm a little bit older and you're not as young as some of the guys in the office, but there have been a lot of people that have legit just changed the world at age 23, 24, 25. And I think when you're young, you're like, we'll kind of figure it out along the way. But then it's like, I could just do something that changes the world now if I wanted to, And that kind of gets...
I think it's the way I relate to the most is our revenue journeys. Like when we were just starting, it was like, if I could make this, that would be crazy. And then we saw a new number and we were like if I could make that, what I thought was the ceiling for Snapback was our monthly revenue. And then I just saw another company in our space and it's 6x us. And I'm like,
who that?
I'm like, we can get to that. If they're there. And so, yeah, I just think opening up, but I get what you're saying too.
I just mean you can choose to do a really unique thing at any point in time, execute on it, and go and blow from the 1 to 250, based on that thing. And there's no one out there dictating your permission that's saying you can't do this. And I think when you're younger, you're not sure about it. And that's why kind of going back to the goal setting thing is it's hard to imagine what crazy shit I need to do because it's not in front of you all the time. But if you get them thinking in a way that's a little bit higher end and realizing there's no cap to the things that we could fucking do. Realistically, we're just an office, a bunch of fucking kids doing random shit every day. Yeah. But it's why can't we be the next people that change the world for whatever reason, And it takes one good idea to really do that.
Yeah.
So fuck it. 275.
275.
275. We up in the stakes.
Yeah, everyone was like, they took the night to think on it. Like, I wrote the message like 6 o'clock and like no one responded. I was like, cool. Good chat. Good chat.
Love you guys. Yeah, we'll cut there. Shout out, Joe. At this point,
Just testing your arm
Well,
strength for Hawaii.
in our zone. Yeah. That's all we got.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.